I push my limits on productivity by being hyper-disciplined with my daily routine for a week straight. Usually I can only accomplish one of these 3 things in a day, so the rule was that I had to meet all 3 of these requirements every day or all of the content I made so far was going to be deleted. I wasn't allowed to sleep in, skip workouts, or skip any posts. The first day I jumped into things, I was confident that this was going to be an easy challenge. Alright, so I just did the first part of the challenge that I'm going for. Created content. Right now I'm going home so that way I can get ready to go to the gym and then go to the gym. You can hear it in my verbal cadence and the enthusiasm in my voice. I got started quickly and completed one of my goals, which immediately brought my excitement way up. Now this was actually one of the best things that could have happened for me because it helped me break a sort of plateau in terms of creating content, and I realized how to make videos fun again. I've noticed that I'll often try to compensate for things by trying to sound smarter when it's unnecessary, and it actually has the opposite effect. It turns out that this is actually a really common thing that people do because intelligence is such a valued character trait in the world that we live in. The downside to this though is that people like myself will make simple things sound really complicated while genuinely intelligent people are just trying to be understood. I actually realized this once I took away the pressure to perform for the camera and instead just let myself document as opposed to summarizing. Say too that I am liking this format a lot better than trying to teach as if I was a teacher. I'd say the next thing that I'm actually worried about is having to wake up at 5:30 in the frickin' morning. Yeah, that's where we're at right now. For those who don't know, sleep is one of those things that you can't really figure out a way around. It's one of the best performance enhancing activities, so you can't skip it. While you sleep, you go through what are called circadian rhythms. Each one lasts about 90 minutes, and although it can be discussed for hours on end, the long and short of it is that sleep A, lets your body rest, and more importantly, B, allows your brain to get rid of all the clutter it gathered throughout the day. Hey, that's foreshadowing. So hopefully I can get to bed on time and get a full 8 hours of sleep because otherwise I'm gonna wake up at 5:30 and it's gonna suck and it'll be a terrible start to everything. So here I go, probably gonna make eggs and then shower and then that'll be it. We'll see how things go in the morning. That's when things started to get difficult. I knew from the beginning that sleep deprivation was going to be my fatal flaw. I can get a lot of work done in a day, and I really mean a lot of work done, but if I'm sleep deprived, then my overall productivity just tanks. I've known this for a long time too. In fact, in 8th grade, I did an experiment on myself to see just how drastically sleep deprivation can change someone's health and mental well-being. I was falling asleep in class, my grades fell, I couldn't focus, even my social life started falling apart. And past me knew this too. So sure enough, when I woke up, I felt like collapsing. I had no energy, no will to move forward with my day, nothing. So I made some tea, and the caffeine helped a little bit. I also knew that sunlight and moving your body are both really good ways to wake up. The school I went to from 3rd through 8th grade started every morning by going outside and doing some kind of physical activity, and I knew that that would always wake me up, so that's what I did. I have 2 beautiful dogs, Titus and Mia, and both of them are extremely high energy. If we don't give them some kind of exercise, then the rest of the day is just pacing and wandering because they're anxious and don't really know what to do. In fact, Titus was actually adopted 4 times before we brought him into our pack because the previous owners didn't know how to handle him. But my hypothesis was correct. Getting sunlight and moving my body did indeed help quite a bit with waking me up. And also that caffeine didn't hurt either. There's so much caffeine in my system right now, it's not even funny. So I got the waking up early part down, and now it's just the short form content and then obviously going to the gym. Today's leg. The way my day's looking, it's looking like it's probably gonna be towards the end of the day, so hopefully I can finish everything up. Hopefully I'll get to bed when it's my bedtime. I have to say, in terms of productivity, I did not do very well this morning. I was honestly on my phone. It wasn't until about 7 or 8 that I decided, oh, hey, I could use this time to like network and reach out to people, which is the whole point of waking up early anyways, is buying yourself time to do those things. So even though I woke up early, it ended up doing more harm than good because I didn't properly reinvest my time. It would have been wiser for me to get enough sleep so that I had the focus and the discipline to do the things I needed to do. But then again, I wouldn't really have much of a challenge if I gave up that easy now, would I? Physically, I'm just dead. Mentally, I'm starting to have to dig deep, which is great because that is the whole point of this challenge. Now I want to pause right there. You'll notice I mentioned how I had to start digging deep mentally and that it was a good thing. This is because it was keeping me from something that I like to call analysis paralysis. It's actually a well-known phenomenon that occurs when an individual procrastinates an action by seeking more and more information. For people like me, it's really easy to convince ourselves that we're learning about something and that it's okay to wait to take the jump. This leads to a dangerous cycle because the desire to seek out more information is reinforced by the pressure to perform well. If the individual is unwilling to accept their circumstances, then they're doomed to continue this cycle forever. So I've found that taking a jump and failing is just better than not taking a jump at all.
I'd say that in terms of ending procrastination, this is working. I have those 3 main goals that I'm trying to reach every day, and I think because it's simplified, it's a lot easier for me to actually complete those 3 things. So I wonder, what is the maximum number of things I can focus on a day? What if I want to do 10 or 20 things in a day and I need to get it done? Obviously, it would take a lot more time and energy, and it might not be as doable. So why is that?
From what I could find, the reason we only accomplish so much in a day is mostly because of external factors and other people stopping us from simply speaking things into existence. And when you say it like that, it sounds simple. It's unreasonable for any one individual to hold so much power that they can achieve an unlimited number of things in one day. Instead, it makes more sense for each day to become a placeholder for you to put leverage in your time. You might not be able to snap your fingers and have $1 million hand delivered to you, but each day you can be building towards that and reserving that opportunity for yourself by becoming more and more efficient with your time. The second night, I was still running off of endorphins until I went to sleep, so I didn't really understand exactly how tired I was until the next morning, which was quite literally a rude awakening. If you look really close, you can see that there is no desire to continue being awake at all. This didn't really go away throughout the day either. I went to my parents' house later on and I couldn't quite shake it, and shortly after that, well, I got irrationally upset about not being able to dedicate all of my time to one thing. Here's part of that little meltdown that I had.
Because I'm stuck in this cycle where I can't dedicate all my time to one thing because I'm torn between so many different things, because I need to be able to pay for things.
Now, it's embarrassing, I know, but it goes to show that failing to prepare yourself for upcoming challenges leads to irrational anger and an inability to regulate your emotions. I was getting angry about something that was entirely my own fault, and then I had the audacity to blame other people for it. And the rest of the week, it just got worse and worse. My memory was starting to fail me, and I was struggling to even put together a sentence.
So yesterday, I completed all the goals that I needed to do. I posted a video, woke up at 5:30, and I managed to lift weights.
Because of these lapses in health though, I decided to take it easier for the rest of the week. I was still going to be sticking to the requirements, but I decided to take time to clean my space and put together a whiteboard so I could keep track of my life. Now, before you comment on the messiness of my room, keep in mind it's a 19 and a 20-year-old who are trying all the time and trying their hardest. I was exhausted, so there wasn't much effort put into keeping things clean. But spending that valuable energy on maintaining that space and clearing the walkways had a tremendous effect on my mental health and therefore my quality of sleep. Honestly, the last 4 days of the challenge were kind of a blur, but cleaning my room and putting the whiteboard up were 2 of the best ideas that I acted on. And this brings us to the very last day of my 1-week challenge.
Okay, day 7, I'm at my little office, but I'm fried. I'm dead. So would I advise this for anybody else? And the answer to that one is absolutely not. However, I will say that it is extremely beneficial to have 2 or 3 specific goals that you are focusing on. Although the goals that I picked were not great, specifically the one about waking up at 5:30, having those 3 things that I just knew I had to meet every day made it a whole lot easier than trying to make it through every day with a vague kind of answer, like a be better or be stronger. The idea is to distribute big goals over a long enough period of time that the hardest part of doing it each day is just showing up instead of the actual task.
It's unreasonable to expect yourself to accomplish a huge goal in one single day, but it is far more reasonable to expect yourself to accomplish a large goal over a large span of time and therefore only accomplish little bits and pieces every day. Your routine and your day-to-day life determines who you really are and what it is that you're becoming, and any huge goals you accomplish are simply rewards for living your life the way you do every single day.